Wondering what to expect from The Young and the Restless on September 5th, 2025? Check out the detailed spoilers below. The previous The Young and the Restless episode saw Nikki surprise Victor with a romantic evening. On the other hand, Michael was presented with a new opportunity. And then last but not least, Claire lost her cool with Audra after she came over to taunt her and Holden drinking together. The drama, the alliances, the business moves, and more will get even more intense and heated in the coming weeks. Here's what the fans can expect from the September 5th, 2025 episode of The Young and the Restless when they tune in to CBS to watch the hit daytime drama series. The final episode of the week features Victor preparing the Newmans for war. After a romantic surprise evening with his wife, Nikki, the patriarch of the Newman family is happy, recharged, and ready to charge through his enemies. The business drama is charging up, and Victor is all set for it. He is known for being 2 steps ahead of everyone and making moves that can flabbergast his opponents. But more than just strategizing, he has also been readying his family for what might happen when the war begins. The drama will be top-notch, and so will the targeting. Everyone knows that. And Victor wants his family to be ready for anything during such a time. On the other hand, Phyllis overplays her hand. There's nothing new in that, as she is always making irresponsible moves and bold choices. She will do all it takes to win and come out on top, but it doesn't always work out, does it? What has she done now to warrant such a thing? In what matter has she overplayed her hand? Is this related to Kane? Has she inserted herself in his matters a little too much? Has she tried to use her personal life and feelings for Lily to get what she wants after he called off their whole plan? How will she pay for this act now? Last but not least, Lily urges Kane to come clean. She wants him to be honest about his intentions, but even though he has made it clear that he isn't hiding anything revolutionary, she cannot seem to believe him. What will her attempts do this time? Will he actually relent and reveal something Lily doesn't know about? Or will her attempts go in vain against Kane? Stay tuned to The Young and the Restless to know more details. The air in Genoa City is thick with more than just the smell of Chancellor Park's roses and the espresso from Crimson Lights. It's saturated with secrets, half-truths, and desperate gambits. This week on The Young and the Restless, the delicate house of cards several characters have built begins to tremble, threatening to collapse and bury everyone beneath it. At the center of the impending storm are 2 women on vastly different paths. Phyllis Summers, whose signature recklessness is reaching a dangerous crescendo, and Lily Winters, who is fighting for honesty and integrity in the face of devastating betrayal. Their stories, though separate, paint a perfect picture of the old adage, those who live by the sword, die by the sword. Phyllis's high-stakes gamble, a ticking time bomb. Phyllis has never been one for subtlety. Her modus operandi has always been to charge headfirst into the fray, consequences be damned. This time, however, her target isn't just some business rival or romantic foe. It's the omnipotent, ever-watchful eyes of Chancecom and its formidable leader, Christine Williams. Emboldened by her recent successes and a dangerously inflated sense of invincibility, Phyllis is convinced she can outmaneuver the entire legal and corporate establishment of Genoa City. Her plan? To secretly record a conversation with Christine. She's convinced that if she can just get the former DA to slip up, to reveal some kernel of bias or a hint of a personal vendetta against her, she'll have the ammunition she needs to not only dismantle the federal case against her, but to sue Chancecom into oblivion. In her mind, it's a masterstroke. She's the underdog, the wronged party, finally fighting back with her own cleverness. But what Phyllis sees as a masterstroke, everyone around her correctly identifies as sheer, unadulterated madness. Danny Romalotti, her ever-patient rock, looks on in horror as she outlines her scheme. His warnings are gentle but firm, pleading with her to consider the catastrophic fallout. "Phyllis, this isn't a game," he'll implore, his voice laced with a fear he can barely contain. "You're talking about entrapping a former district attorney. This isn't just jumping out of a cake. This is jumping into a volcano." Even her longtime frenemy, Nick Newman, who has often been a reluctant co-conspirator in her schemes, pulls her aside. He's seen this movie before and he knows how it ends, with Phyllis in cuffs or on the run. "You're playing with fire," read Nick will tell her, his expression a mix of frustration and genuine concern. "Chance isn't some two-bit security guard you can manipulate. And Christine? She's a bloodhound. She'll hear the click of the recorder from a mile away." Yet, Phyllis is deaf to their counsel. The roar of her own ambition and her deep-seated need to win drown out all voices of reason. She meticulously plans the encounter, choosing her location, rehearsing her lines, and viewing herself as the heroine of her own thriller. She's so focused on the potential victory that she's blind to the glaringly obvious truth. She is wildly overplaying her hand. The meeting with Christine is a masterpiece of tension. Christine, ever the professional, is cool, collected, and impeccably careful with her words. Phyllis, trying to provoke her, lays on the sarcasm and thinly veiled accusations thicker than foundation at a society event. She pushes and prods, hoping for a crack in the armor. And for a fleeting second, she thinks she gets it. Christine, perhaps frustrated by Phyllis's audacity, lets a sliver of personal opinion show. It's all Phyllis needs. She leaves the meeting triumphant, already mentally spending the millions from her lawsuit. But back at her apartment, as she replays the recording, her triumph curdles into dread. The smoking gun is ambiguous at best. And worse, in her zeal to provoke a reaction, Phyllis herself can be heard making several legally questionable statements that could easily be construed as attempted coercion and manipulation of a federal investigation. She didn't capture Christine's downfall. She captured evidence of her own crimes. The trap she so carefully laid was for herself all along. The walls, which she thought were closing in on her enemies, are now closing in on her. The bomb she built is ticking, and she's holding it. Across town, a different kind of tension is suffocating the palatial Winters home. The revelation of Kane's monumental lie, his faked death, and the years of deception has left Lily shattered. The man she mourned, the grief she endured, the life she painstakingly rebuilt without him, all of it was based on a fiction. Now he's back, begging for forgiveness and a chance to be a family again with her and their children. Lily is trapped in an agonizing limbo. A part of her, the part that loved him for so long and remembers the good man he could be, wants nothing more than to wrap her arms around him and pretend the last few years never happened. To have the father of her children home, safe and sound. But the other part of her, the savvy CEO, the woman who is forged in the fire of that betrayal, cannot unknow the truth. She sees the lie for what it was, a selfish, cowardly act that prioritized his escape from his problems over the